I got pregnant with Liam, and my pregnancy went really well. There was nothing wrong with my pregnancy. It was healthy, full term. We went to have him. He was born about a week early, and everything went fine with labor delivery. And they did their normal testing, and the PKU test was one of the tests that they do on the heel. And we noticed that it was bleeding, and it kept bleeding and bleeding. So I drew the attention to the nurse that we needed to get a Band-Aid or another Band-Aid. Then he bled through that Band-Aid. We didn't know exactly what was going on.
Liam didn't take to breastfeeding, and he didn't eat for a while. So the doctor came in and he said, I'm not going to do the circumcision. It's a very bloody procedure, and I'm going to wait until he eats and gets some strength build up before I do this. He's like, there is risks, and he named some risk. And I remember specifically he mentioned hemophilia, and I said, well, that's pretty rare. I remember that from high school. And he said, but it is prevalent in white males, and it is a possibility, and I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm going to wait. 24 hours came, then we got the PKU, which indicated a possible bleeding disorder.
We didn't get the final diagnosis until he was about a week old. I got a phone call, and it was the doctor, and he said we got the results back, and Liam has less than 1% clotting factor. He is a severe hemophiliac.
If you think back to when he was born in 2006, we didn't have the immediate access to the information that maybe somebody that's diagnosed today would have.
Right.
So there was a lot of unknown until we got up and got with Dr. Tarantino, and he gave us material, he gave us a book, and
they sent us home with a lot of books, a lot of posters, and it made me realize how lucky and blessed we were through the whole labor and delivery with Liam, and how many things could have went wrong. Just the trauma of birth and all of that. But as soon as we got with Dr. Tarantino, it was immediate, just a connection with Dr. Tarantino. He was so welcoming and just so helpful. And I think he even gave us a cell phone number. When I got pregnant with Kolby, Dr. Tarantino highly recommended that I have him up in Peoria. And we knew immediately after birth, like within 20 minutes after Kolby was born, and he immediately got a dose of factor. And then after Kolby being diagnosed, then we pretty much knew that I was the carrier.
And now we're blessed with 4 children, and we know 2 of them have hemophilia. We have 2 daughters that may be carriers, so that's something that weighs on us at times. But of course I wouldn't give my children up for the world, and making it such a manageable condition was the reason, after 4 years with Liam, that we were able to make the decision to say, hey, it's okay if our children do have it. We hope they don't. We prayed and prayed that Kolby didn't. We pray our girls don't have hemophilia in their genetics, but if they do, it'll be okay.
Now at the ages of 17 and 12, Liam and Kolby say their hemophilia A condition has become second nature. They self-infuse factor 3 times a week and are each other's biggest supporter.
We kind of learned how to self-infuse around the same time. I learned like 2 years earlier, but we were introduced to self-infusing around the same time because mom and dad weren't too sure like when to take it out or when to start having me self-infuse. So I was a little late and he was a little early, and we kind of started doing it at the same time.
It was really scary at first. Like, they'd have to hold me down to do it. And then when I would do it, I just would, I didn't want to do it at all. I usually do his injection or get it ready for him more than he does himself.
Occasionally he'll get it ready for me, and he's pretty independent and can do it all himself too. My life hasn't been any different compared to my friends. It's just kind of the same old thing, except every once in a while I have to infuse myself. If I stay on top of that, then there's absolutely nothing that separates me from anything.
Growing up, both Liam and Kolby participated in several sports. Now their biggest hobbies and goals are in the arts. Liam has been performing at venues as an aspiring singer and songwriter. While Kolby plays the piano and has a passion for theater, He is cast as the lead role in his upcoming school play.
It creates a responsibility that a lot of other kids don't have. So they're strong, and they've been through a lot. And I feel that we have made it normal for them, and it's they don't know any different. We don't know any different. And the clinic has helped us so much with that. Just saying that it's okay, this is manageable. We've got you guys covered, and we're here for you, whatever you need. And they have made it so manageable for us, and we are forever grateful for Dr. Tarantino and the whole staff.
And we know he's continuing to work in the field. There's
Yes.
continuous research that's going to make it even easier and more manageable for the future generations that have hemophilia. A lot of times when you have doctors that are high in their fields, they seem to be arrogant and maybe not care about a person, but Dr. Tarantino has always cared about us as people. Dr. Roberts, being a hemophiliac himself, is able to give insight to the boys that maybe a lot of other people wouldn't, when he talked about, hey, I hiked the Appalachian Trail and I just took Factor with me, and showing him the places where he injects himself and showing him that there is no limitations on their condition because he's reached the highest levels of his profession.
I've always told, like, my mom and dad how much BCDI is just a second family to us. They have always been there, phone call away, and willing to do whatever for us and give us whatever resources we need. I feel very connected with them, and we only see you once, maybe twice a year.
And also, when you have two daughters that are possibly carriers, this disease can go beyond these two boys that we have, unfortunately. And who knows what advances that they'll have. They may not have to go through the pain of getting weekly injections and some of the difficulties that we've had. That's probably the biggest thing we've faced, is the pain that of that. And we've crossed that bridge now. We're over that hurdle. They can inject themselves, and so now they do live a normal life. But compared to what our grandsons may live one day, it may even be better. So you need to continue with research and coming up with better methods to treat it.